Yo, what is going on, you guys? BashtianYgo here. It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube, but we are back, guys. I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh! In a while, but I wanted to go ahead and bring you guys my Maliss deck profile that I'm currently playing in the current format. Supreme Darkness just dropped, and one of my locals near where I currently live did a win-a-box tournament, so we ended up winning the box, went undefeated with this. Had some great matches, a lot of amazing people out there, but yeah, I just want to go ahead and share the list, see what I'm playing right now. I am not playing the updated A-Bow version with the Griffin. I think that those cards are cool. Obviously, the combinations are awesome. The combos are really cool. Obviously, it has a different way that it's strong, but I still feel like the original way that we were playing Maliss is still extremely viable, and I think it clearly showed with this most recent tournament. So I'm gonna go ahead and go by the card by card real quick just so you guys can see, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. So first, we played 3 copies of White Rabbit, 3 copies of Dormouse, and 3 copies of Chessy Cat. It's probably gonna be the most divisive thing of my profiles, that I do play 3 of each, and realistically they all serve a specific purpose. Obviously, Chessy Cat being the worst one to normal summon, but it's really essential to see a Maliss name in your opening hand. Yes, you tend to break at times with too many normal summons, but there's so much non-engine in this deck where it really doesn't matter, and the deck draws a lot naturally. So you're going to be able to draw a lot, and overall, again, as long as you have a Maliss name in your hand or a way to get to a Maliss name, you're good. So that's for the Maliss names, the honorary Maliss, the Dotscaper, of course. For the rest of the engine, we played 3 copies of Maliss Underground, 1 Terraforming, 1 Gold Sarcophagus for the spells. Gold Sarcophagus, of course, is pretty much just Maliss Underground. It's the same card, essentially. Maliss Underground, the effect to gain 3,000 doesn't really come up that often, but it did come up once in the tournament and actually saved my behind, so that's really nice to at least know that that's an option for you. But I think that's definitely mandatory for any type of deck moving forward. It's just a way to see a starter, and of course you're gonna have enough non-engine in this deck to where you're gonna be able to outgrind your opponent that way as well. And of course, 1 of each of the Maliss traps I think is pretty standard. Nothing crazy. We're not trying to break, recreate the recipe that's been working any more than these, and you're just asking to brick on these too much. Next, we are playing 3 copies of Allure Darkness. We are playing a hand trap build, but I do still like Allure Darkness because it is still going to be a great way to dig for additional hand traps, or if you have a Maliss name in your hand. And this is where I don't mind playing 9 names, because there's going to be times where maybe your Dormouse gets impermed or veilered, and you have a Chessy Cat or a White Rabbit in your hand, in which case you can go Allure Darkness, banish it, and you can keep extending that way and still be able to use the Dormouse later on, banish a special summon, and it still comes back. So I still think 3 Allure Darkness is really good in the deck. It does play better if you're playing the Board Breaker build, I think, but Allure Darkness is still really good. And then play 2 copies of Thrust and 1 Talents. I think these are really good utility cards overall. Talents, obviously really good. Can get you out of a lot of really tight spots. Thrusts, I was playing the Sky Striker version earlier on. Sky Striker version is no longer viable, I don't think. It just takes up way too many spots in your main deck to just get 2 bodies on the board. And realistically, Bystials do that better, I think. So 2 Thrust and a Talent still nice though, because with Thrust you can also search any of the trap cards as well and set them. You can also search, of course, the Talents or Gold Sarcophagus if you need to get your combo off. So I still like Thrust in the deck, of course, with 1 copy of Called By to get rid of any Ash Blossoms or anything crazy that might be in our way. So rest is going to be all hand traps, guys. We play 6 Bystials, 1 Magnuma, 2 Druis Worm, 3 Baldrake. The honest answer as to why I play this ratio is because I only have 2 Druis Worm. But the more applicable version that I've seen, where this is not completely crazy, is that Baldrake has a really good on-field effect. If you guys did not know, Baldrake has the effect where if your opponent controls a monster, if your opponent special summons a Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Exes, and or Link monster, Except during damage step, you contribute one other light or dark monster, then target one of those special summon monsters and banish it, which is extremely good, especially in a Fiendsmith or Ryzeal format, or any type of format. This is just really good. So just gonna get rid of your opponent's cards. Adds an extra layer of interruption banishing instead of sending, which also Druid Swarm does really well. And it's something you can control more, rather than Druid Swarm you don't have as much control over if it's going to be your opponent's turn. So I do like that aspect of it. Now, for the rest of the hand traps, I played 3 Nib, 3 Ash, and 3 Imperm for the main deck. It's a 40 card main deck. 2 cards I do want to find space for in here is the Branded Regained along with the Bestial Lubellion. If I were to put those cards in, I'd most likely take out 1 Chessy Cat, maybe 2, or take out one of the Baldricks for at least 2 Bestial Lubellion, but definitely at least 1. With 1 of the Random Regain, I'd probably also take out the Called by the Grave, so that's some changes I might do for a stronger Bestial build, just because of course the Branded Regain goes super crazy, especially in the mirror match as well, so that's something that I definitely want to keep into consideration. For the extra deck, we played, of course, 1 of each of the Maliss links. Pretty standard, nothing to talk about right there. Super crazy. Actually, I did not summon Heart's Crypto at all the entire tournament. It was pretty much just White Binder control, because my matchups were Ryzeal, Mitsurugi. And then I went up against Kashtira, Fiendsmith, and then Memento as well. So White Binder, I think, does a great job of taking care of those decks. This itself, just being able to banish a lot of things from the graveyard, the Fiendsmith engine, or the just White Binder is so good, especially now just because Fiendsmith's so rampant. I think the ratio of top decks are playing Fiendsmith was like 55 or 60% playing Fiendsmith. So anything that just banishes is really good, which is why I prefer to play the more heavy Bestial package in the main for this. For the links, other links, for link 1s, link 1 Link Spider, 1 Link Rebo, and 1 Link Decoder. Pretty self-explanatory as far as that goes. Link 2s, Haggard, Splash, and SP Little Knights. Again, pretty self-explanatory. SP Little Knight is funny enough an extender, so nice to have. For Link 3s, I played 1 Deco Talker Heat Soul. This is for any stupid times that I happen to draw the Dotscaper in my opening hand. I can find a way to make this and still be able to draw into a lot of my hand traps, which is why I prefer the more hand trap heavy build, especially now, is because you want to draw more cards with this, which again, it doesn't really counter actually the Allure of Darkness. If you draw into Allure of Darkness with this on your turn, then you're fine. You just keep drawing and you should be able to draw into another way to extend. But Deco Talker Heat Soul, it comes up rarely, but when it does, it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's definitely going to be a card you're going to be taking out if you're going to be playing the more Griffin with the A-Bow version. 1 Access Code Talker because it's free. Firewall Dragon, Terahertz of course, and I like to play the Dave's Worm with the Packbit. Dave's Worm did not really come up today, surprisingly. It was more the Packbit that was the MVP. I think just with a lot more people again switching to the A-Bow and Griffin, you forget how good Packbit really is. Just being able to push a card back into the Spawn Trap card zone as Continuous Trap is something that a lot of decks can't really play around unless you're playing against Centurion. So that's really good. Something that's definitely worth considering. I think the Exodia deck is also treated as Continuous Trap cards. Don't quote me on that one, I have to double check. But Packbit is just such a good card. Be able to put whatever your opponent is trying to mess around with in the Spawn Trap card zone is just really strong. So that's going to be for the main and extra. For the side is going to need some additional work. For the cards that did come up, obviously Shifter came up. I didn't go up against Maliss today, or else Lancia, of course, goes super hard. Cross-out Designator I think would be better like maybe in the mirror match if anything, but I did not side this in at all. I'm thinking about putting in Ultimate Slayers instead, and finding a spot for an aggregator. Maybe take out the Heat Soul, put an aggregator, that way I have something for everything with Ultimate Slayer. It might be an option. We played 1 Duster, a 3rd copy of Thrust, different Dimension Ground, evenly matched, Artifact Sanctum, and 1 D Barrier, of course, for the Ryzeal matchups, or any matchups is really good against as well. But That's going to be it for the deck profile, guys. Honestly, I've been having a lot of fun with the deck. I think it's, like I said, it's a lot of fun to play. It combos really hard, so it's a lot of keeping track of everything as well. So there are times where it can be a little bit too much sometimes. So I definitely, if you're looking to pick this deck up, I definitely think this is definitely the time to do it. The new support coming out is really cool, coming out in I think May of this year, right before Nationals. So that's gonna be really cool to see how that plays out into everything, see how it mixes out, and see what the balance is looking at around that time. But I think that Maliss is going to be going pretty under the radar for the most part for this upcoming for the current format, I should say, now post Suda, just because a lot of people value what it really can do. I think Maliss is a phenomenal deck. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you guys are playing Maliss a different type of way, or have any recommendations, just go ahead and hit me up in the comments. Like I said, it's cool to be back. It's been a while, but hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, and make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.